Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to a first impressions video for Stranded: Alien Dawn. Now this is a game that was released just a couple of days ago on the PlayStation, and the footage you're going to see is from the PlayStation 5 version of this game. Now for those of you who don't know, what is this game all about? Well, essentially it is like a planet survival sim. Where essentially you crash land on a planet. There is a handful of survivors, and you have to essentially build up a colony from the ground up, like, you know, from building little shacks to, you know, the usual campfires, and you've got to kind of do your resource management. You've got to, you know, chop down your trees, scavenge things. You've got to do your hunting. And then it's the usual case of there are certain threats that will be sent your way that are like environmental threats, like the weather or storms, things like that. And then you can be attacked by alien creatures, all that kind of stuff. So it's essentially it's like a management sim in the sense of you're building your colony up from the ground up. You have to research in order to research new technology and improve your colony. Make it bigger, make it stronger, build up the defences, get workbenches up and running to get new weapons, new fabrics, everything that you kind of would expect from games like this. If you like city management sims or building management games or survival games, you know, it's definitely something that you will probably interested in if you like city skylines or surviving Mars or all that kind of stuff. It's that type of game. It's not a full price game. I think it's up down for $29.99. I think I paid for this, which I think is a decent price for a game like this. It's got a pretty decent tutorial as well. That, I mean, there's no voice acting, certainly that I've discovered yet, and I've only really played it for a couple of hours so far. There's no voice acting, and the tutorial's all kind of text-based, but it's easy enough to follow, and it kind of holds your hand and walks you through how to do everything. You know, how to set up your first kind of colony and build shelters and collect resources, and then it goes through combat and research, all the things you would expect. And it is, if you're not used to playing these sort of games but this kind of interests you, then the tutorial will certainly be very helpful. And when you go into the game as well, I mean, it's not just a simple case of, you know, crash land on a planet and away you go. That is the main crust of the game here, but there are certain scenarios that it will allow you to do. You can kind of be on a planet and set up like a military outpost. It gives you another couple of scenarios, and it's one of those games where you could completely kind of customize the game experience that you want. You can make it as hardcore as you want, or you can kind of make it as easy as you want and make it more of a relaxing experience. And I would always suggest to new players to games like this is definitely start on the easy level, learn the game, and then when you feel comfortable with all the mechanics in the game, then if you like, restart it and put it the difficulty level up and see how that sort of feels to you. That's generally what my experience in playing these games is, the best way to learn this game. I think aesthetically, I think the game looks quite pleasant and pleasing. It's got a cartoony feel to it, but it also, you know, the graphics are reasonably realistic as well. I think the characters are nicely, they look pretty nice, the characters sort of thing. And at the beginning of the game as well, which I forgot to mention, you get to choose your, depending on the scenario, your 4 survivors. There's a good amount to choose from, and they all come with different skill sets. So some will come at the better at combat, some will be good at crafting, some will be good at research, some will be good at construction. And you've got to kind of get a nice balance. So you've got 1 or 2 people in your kind of survival, in your crew sort of thing that's on the planet, that are good at a couple of things, so that it doesn't kind of leave you wanting. Because some of the characters are literally won't do anything. They're rubbish at pretty much 1 or 2 of the tasks. For example, they might be just refuse to do any combat at all, and if an enemy comes at them, they'll just run away crying, sort of thing. So you've got to kind of pick quite carefully in regards to the right mix of the people that's going to be in your colony. So there's loads of stuff to be crafted. You've got different shelters to build, and as the technology gets better, that you can build better shelters and colonies. Same with your furniture and your hunting materials and everything that you could desire, kind of for your camp stroke colony sort of thing. You get it here. It's one of those games that you can definitely lose yourself in. And I'm definitely enjoying my time with it. So I'll try and put a lot more time into this game, guys, and hopefully try and give you a more in-depth review. But if you want to carry on watching more gameplay, I've left quite a lot more gameplay on for you guys to check out. So thank you very much for watching.